might be game.
It's
one push and that's
Look
it.
at that. We've got every single kind of dragon apart from Electro Dragon. Look at all of that mess. This is insane. Oh, the rocket, we've seen that before. Will it be enough?
But the double rocket comes out. That'll be enough.
That's it. And in the, actually on the, the longest
5 HP in that top left with 3 seconds left. That could be the point.
Brought to you by Vodafone. The future is exciting. Are you ready? TCL for the next level visual technology. And JBL, enhance the way you listen.
Good evening and good afternoon, Clash Royale fans, and welcome to another week of the High School League Clash Royale Split 1. We are here tonight, a little bit in a different situation. It's not the same set as you're used to. My name is Jonathan Arkadian Jensen, and I am here with my lovely host and expert analyst, Belinda Hope, aka Blendy. But as you can tell, we're not in the usual environment tonight.
Yeah, we're social distancing. We're being responsible gamers.
Absolutely. But we're not going to let that stop esports from happening and having all the fun. And so let's take a look at a reminder of today's tournament and our format. So the High School League Clash Royale tournament structure is 65 teams from across 35 schools, Australia, New Zealand, and they are battling it out in 6 groups of 12 teams. Now this is a single round robin, which happens over 6 weeks of league play, and the top teams in each group will proceed into 3 weeks of playoffs to crown Australia and New Zealand's best high school Clash Royale team. And they are all competing for a whole range of amazing prizes, starting off thanks to Vodafone New Zealand. Winners will be able to choose from Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, or Vodafone credit. The first place team of the entire tournament will walk away with $750 worth of value. The second team will walk away with $525, and the third place team walking away with $300. But that is not all. Thanks to JBL, the teams will be also walking away with $750 for the first place team in the form of the JBL Quantum 400 headphones and the JBL Clip 3 speaker. The second team, $525 worth of value in the JBL Quantum 300s and the JBL Go 2. And third place team walking away with the JBL Quantum 200 headphones. What an amazing prize pack.
This is incredible. I mean, to think that we're now all in lockdown and, you know, we've got these players who are firstly not at school anymore, but still able to compete in esports and have a chance at winning that insane prize pack. It's amazing.
And those kinds of prizes are exactly what they're going to end up getting us through the isolation nice and easily. You got the audio set up, you got the all the credit for the games. But what else do you need to play Clash Royale? You need an amazing TCL Plex mobile phone. And TCL have come to the party, and they're offering 3 TCL Plex mobiles for the winning team with $499 Australian each. And these are absolutely amazing phones. And so let us show you a little bit more about those.
The new TCL Plex mobile phones. See visuals come to life on a premium 6.3-inch HD display powered by its own display engine developed by TCL. With triple rear cameras and a long-lasting, fast-charging battery at a great price, the TCL Plex is the perfect all-rounder phone.
What an awesome prize. I can just tell the kids who are going back to school with that kind of prize pack are going to be absolutely ready for the new school term. Such a great prize.
It's amazing. You know, this is an incredible prize pack, and I'm so glad that we're able to continue doing our awesome tournament.
And so speaking of today's awesome tournament, let's have a look at today's schedule. So, starting off the week tonight, we have Wrath of Frost first up at 6 p.m. New Zealand versus Rusty Boots. Then next, we've got the Paladins versus Flinders Crabs. And lastly, Funeral Parlor from Burnside High School versus Brain Dead Beatdown from Rangitoto College at 6:40. Now, those are New Zealand times, and games can go longer or shorter. And so if you have a particular team you want to watch, just be sure to stick around for the whole broadcast, just in case. And let's have a look at tonight's first head-to-head in detail. We got Rusty Boots from Catholic Regional College in Melton versus Wrath of Frost from Mount Albert Grammar School. Now, Blendy, what do we know about these teams?
Well, these teams are pretty exciting. I think they've stepped up to our challenge of sending in their profiles. Let me tell you about Rusty Boots. They play too much Roblox without using their legs. They also have dreams to work in the commercial fishing industry, so they're practicing by using hair conditioner. And sadly, though, they've had some irritable bowel syndrome since their last time, so I'm really hoping that they're on top form tonight. And Wrath of Frost, now we talked recently about their double hog rage quit strategy. Sadly, they've had a copyright claim on them, and now they're in an intense court battle. And Messi Don't Gem has been promoted from the bench warmer to an honorary slave. I feel like that's a bit of a demotion, but anyway, apparently he spends 25 hours a day playing Clash Royale. And Pickle Games, Pickles has a super boring description as he had all of his suggestions swiftly denied, sadly. There we go. Let's see how they play tonight.
I love the creativity coming through from these two teams. I believe Wrath of Frost were the ones who came through with the Caster's Choice Award for the best description in week 1, and I like the fact that we're getting a little bit of a narrative here. We started off with the copyright double hog rage quit strategy, but now that copyright seems to have been contested. But starting off in tonight's matches, we are going to start off with the 2v2 and into the 1v1s after that. Remember, guys, this is a best of 3 set, and so we do start with the 2v2 first, into the 1v1 after that, and if it is still drawn after those 2 matches, we will be going to a King of the Hill where we can see all of the 3 players in the team compete. But what are we looking for bans tonight?
Well, let's see. So we're starting with the 2v2. Rusty Boots have banned Royal Giant, and Wrath of Frost have banned Executioner. We're into the game, so let's see how it all plays out.
Both teams are setting up a little bit of elixir here. Slow start. And the Electro Wizard cleaning up those skeletons, not a problem. Poison taking down a little bit of damage on that Princess Tower. See how...
I've got a flying machine coming over. See if that takes out the Electro Wizard. Well, the Electro Wizard died anyway, so the flying machine is flying uncontested.
Oh, and the Tesla didn't activate there, just out of range. Unlucky for Rusty Boots. Interestingly enough, Rusty Boots are 2 wins and 3 losses coming into the tournament so far, whereas Wrath of Frost are 5 wins, 0 losses. They are undefeated. And so Wrath of Frost definitely coming into this match as the favorite.
All right, we've got a rage spell about to activate there, but nothing to be activated, sadly. But we've got a fairly strong attack coming up. We've got all sorts going on, but the Inferno Dragon is taking out just about everything.
Yeah, Inferno Dragon, a great counter to the P.E.K.K.A. The damage just ramps up and ends up breaking right through it, but it will be taken down fairly easily.
That was nice work with the Tesla and the Magic Archer having their sort of cross defense there, and now heading into the all the dragons and things going on there. That's going to explode in a moment and hopefully be taken out by that Tesla. Very cleverly placed.
Yeah, good defense coming out here from Rusty Boots. Really impressed so far. 1700 damage on the left-hand Princess Tower for Rusty Boots, which gives Wrath of Frost a slight advantage coming into this, with closing in on 1 minute left in the match, assuming we don't see any overtime.
And here comes our flying machine again, starting from the back, and still nothing to defend against it, because we've got the strong push coming up on the right-hand side.
Oh, Bats coming out. Good value there, taking down the flying machine. Bandit flying in on the other side. And unfortunately, the Lumberjack...
I think Bats is always a great choice. You know, Bats only costs 2. It actually does a reasonable amount of chip damage with 5 or 6 of them there. So, yeah, it's a good, cheap choice for very cost-effective damage.
I agree. It's hard to not get the 2 elixir worth of value out of them. Big attack coming down here from Rusty Boots, pushing on that left-hand side. With a Lava Hound absorbing a lot of damage from the Wizard.
Now, we still haven't seen any towers go below 1,000 yet, so this is a very well-defended game.
It is. 10 seconds left. We're definitely going to be going into overtime, turning into a 1-tower, 1-crown game for sure. The Valkyrie will be cleaned up there, not a problem. And a big attack.
Oh, a balloon. We haven't seen a balloon come out yet. Now, if that balloon makes it... Yeah.
Easy.
Oh, no, the bomb's going to take out some of that.
Now, we've seen pretty much everything. We've still got 1 card from Wrath of Frost that has not been played yet, and I'm wondering if they've got some sort of synergy attack coming through. The P.E.K.K.A. is going to clean up these skeletons with the help of the Princess Tower. That'll slow them down slightly, but not quite.
Now we've got a split attack going up both sides. All nice Inferno Dragon taking just about everything out there. And, you know, we really still haven't dropped below 1,000. This is very, very interesting game. These guys are so well placed.
It is close. But we just saw a Valkyrie come down on Rotha Frost's side, getting quite a little bit of damage on the right-hand Princess Tower against Rusty Boots. That went uncontested, but I think it was a good decision to stick to the left lane there, just to push back on the main attack. And it's paying in dividends now. They hopefully get a little bit of damage on this tower. No, good defense. A miner coming through, ticking away. 50 seconds left in overtime. And a
balloon coming down again.
Needs to be dealt with.
Let's see what we've got against that. Oh, a nice combo again of the Tesla and the Magic Archer. Takes down that balloon, and the bomb does half the damage on the Magic Archer, but still allows it to continue. But we've got a strong push coming down on the left-hand side. Down to 640.
Really good. Rusty Boots coming through. Now, we've only got 25 seconds left. If the game ends without a tower being broken, it will be the lowest tower that takes off the point. We've got 800 health sitting here, and a balloon coming down the right-hand column, but Rusty Boots are pushing for the attack on the left. Are they going to take it down?
Yeah,
they will. Fantastic play from Rusty Boots.
You know,
how good was that?
Those tears were justified. That was a tough game. It was really down to the wire. You know, that was very, very well matched. They both played excellently with both their defense and their attacks. Yeah, very strategically played.
It was really good. I mean, we said at the beginning of this that Rusty Boots was coming in 2 wins, 3 losses, and so it was going to be a tough challenge for them to come up against the undefeated Rotha Frost. And so to really stay composed, use that to their advantage. I was really impressed with that attack, and so good job all around. That is an important point in the 2v2, and that's match is finished now. That's 1 on the board for Rusty Boots, and it's now up into the 1v1. What sort of bans have we got in the 1v1 match?
Well, let me tell you, we've got Golem and Goblin Barrel bans in this round.
We have seen the Golem ban before, I think, by Rusty Boots, where they replaced their own Golem strategy with the Elixir Golem.
Yes, so you know, it could be quite interesting to see whether that comes out again. I think the Elixir Golem is quite a good you know, trade out for a regular Golem. Yeah, absolutely. So let's see if that comes out. And Goblin Barrel, you know, that's a favourite as well. Doesn't cost very much. You get to throw some goblins, and wherever they land, they jump out, and you can, you know, land them behind a building and hopefully get a little bit of chip damage in there. So sadly, we can't use that. So what are they going to use instead?
We'll find out.
Let's find out.
I think we're going straight into the 1v1. Rusty Boots on the bottom side again, Rotha Frost on the top. This is Pickle Games versus Solomon in the 1v1. Let's see how this unfolds. Rotha Frost definitely wanting to take one back against Rusty Boots here.
Yeah, we've definitely got some good emote game going on. And we've got the Royal Ghost coming in. Having a little battle there. And the Rascals will carry on. And the front one will take most of the damage. The back ones can still carry on and see if they can get a little bit in, but no, and we've got a clear board.
Just like I said, it was a fantastic fireball from Solomon there. He managed just to get the corner of the archer and hit the tower with the damage, just to get maximum value. Really nicely played, real good position.
We've got a mortar here. That did actually quite a bit of damage. It threw a few in there before it got taken out.
But this pick is uncontested, and he hurts. 1 hit, 2 hit, chopping down that tower. He's going to get 3 in there. He will. He took down the entire tower by himself.
He sure did, and we had a Royal Ghost come in that has been uncontested as well, and that tower is down to 900.
That's not looking good for Solomon. Might have needed a little
bit of defense to take that one out.
Yeah, that was a rough one. Unfortunately, that's exactly the reason you can't leave people like P.E.K.K.A type units just uncontested there or undefended, because they can absolutely hurt. And the mortar again is coming out, but it will be quickly disposed of after only getting 1 shot off. So far,
all of those goblins. Oh, and they've been zapped. And we have a clear board again.
They will.
And the
both
miner
players
heads out, backed up by the bats.
Elixir building up again, getting a nice little bit of damage off. Unfortunately, Solomon from the beginning play will be playing from behind a little bit for the rest of this game.
And here's our standard play in this game. We've got Royal Ghost versus the Rascals, and the Mortar and the Picker.
And Solomon's got a lot of work to do. 35 seconds coming down to remaining in this match, and they have to take out the rest of the Princess Tower and do something to defend against that into overtime. This is going to be an uphill battle for sure.
Yeah, that was good use of the miner, because that might do it. Oh no, I was wrong. It did actually no damage at all. The bandit managed to take it.
And the Electro Wizard doing a good job there of keeping the mortar stunned so it can't get any of its shots off.
Now, we are down to 9 seconds left, and I don't think that we're going to get that last tower down. I think this is a done deal. 2 seconds, 1. Oh, that fireball was just a second too late.
Yeah, a little bit too late. Pickle Games there picking up the first game of the 1v1. But fortunately for Rusty Boots, the 1v1s are best of 3s. And so even though Pickle Games took out the first set for Wrath of Frost, Rusty Boots will have a chance to try and come back. But if unsuccessful, we might see our first King of the Hill tiebreaker for the entire tournament. Can you explain a little bit, remind all our viewers at home what the King of the Hill format's going to be?
So the King of the Hill is sort of like a last man standing battle between all the players in your team on the 1v1. So, you know, you play it, and then whoever loses, your next teammate takes over, and you keep on going until there is one winner left.
That will be exciting to see, especially because I feel like the 2v2 coming out from Rusty Boots was quite strong. And how will they perform in the 1v1 environment? I've got a feeling we might be able to find out, but we will have to wait to see the final 1v1 match before we make any assumptions. Again, the same troops will be banned, which is the Golem on Rusty Boots and the Goblin Barrel for the Wrath of Frost. Is there anything in particular you saw? I hear that we've got the game ready. We might be throwing in just to see how it goes.
Yeah, the game is ready. Let's see.
Let's see how Solomon can change. Solomon got a lot of... I think it was closer than the score reflected in the last game. Solomon took a lot of damage in that first little section, and that, you know, kind of decided the game pretty quickly. I wonder if he can change that early game.
Yeah, look, you know, we've just had a whole lot of goblins versus goblins and goblins versus bats, and then a log that took everything out. So that was interesting, but we've got our mortar back again, the same placement. That was quite powerful in the last round, but it does look like we've had a bit of a change up in cards. Looks like Mega Knight instead of P.E.K.K.A.
Yeah, so it looks like Pickle Games has decided to take a different deck this time, almost entirely. Let's see how Solomon can react to that, with Feely the same stuff. But once again, it almost looks like Groundhog Day here, because we're seeing the giant unit of the Mega Knight coming in and just crushing that Princess Tower again.
Well, let's see what happens. We have got a clear board, and it's been clear for actually quite some time now, so everyone's saving up, and let's see what they're going to play. Can they play multiple attacks all at the same time? Let's
Taking
see.
a breath,
That's the
planning their
first one that's
combos.
come out.
The miner comes down, going to be taken out quickly by those goblins, and the bats again will be taken out by the Princess Towers fairly quickly.
And nice distraction placement with the Rascals, so those goblins didn't really get much damage in, but that allowed for the mortar to be able to do some attack there. And
The high value bats.
a decent hit.
And Pickle Game's coming through with a miner of his own, but being countered the same way with the little mob of goblins.
And miner again, miner versus goblins. Look, it's the same play. That's very interesting to see.
But Solomon came out on top of this one with the trade onto the tower. 230 health left, 50 seconds to go. This becomes a game of defense here for Solomon.
Now this is interesting. It's similar to the last game where we're seeing the same sort of card turnover and the same placement. Wow, that's only going to take one more tiny bit of damage.
That's going to be a long war fireball. And so if he can maintain the defense on this, but it doesn't look like he can. No, Mega Knight coming in for the crush.
We got the tower down. We've got all of those skeletons that are coming in that skeleton barrel. And we had 2 of them. So that was very nice.
The King Tower's taking so much damage. There's not a lot that he can do.
623. That was so well
He
played.
needs to quickly shoot something at that Princess Tower if he wants to go into overtime. Is he going to get anything at all, or is he going to give it up?
Oh,
the lock comes down.
Take it out. Okay, so we're going to go into overtime. That was lucky. That was so tight.
He waited till the absolute last second to throw that out.
But look, you know, we're down to 300. I think that tower is just about gone. It's been very well defended.
Really good job. It was pulling across the skeleton barrel over to the other side with the mortar, but one miner able to do a little bit more damage. It is an uphill battle here. Pickle has to take 200 damage off the King Tower, whereas Solomon has to take down an entire 3,500 health King Tower or the Princess Tower to be back into this game.
Well, here we go. We've got some goblins coming in. 86. Oh, 19.
And the miner sweeping him behind.
Takes it out. A snowball taking out the King Tower and winning the game. That is incredible. You know, that only cost 2. That's such good value in it. Takes it for the win.
It looked like Solomon actually could have had the advantage there for a little while when he looked like he might have been able to take out that first Princess Tower because he had the 2 cycle spells, the Fireball and the Log, to really keep that damage up. But unfortunately, when you lose a push that hard and your King Tower takes that much damage and it can be taken out by a snowball, that is an awkward situation to be in. But you know what this means, Blendy?
What's that?
It means that we're going to King of the Hill for the first time in the HSL Split 1 for this season so far. Now, I haven't even seen one of these yet, and so I'm not sure what's going to be happening. But we know that we are going to see all 3 players from all 3 teams compete again in sort of a 1v1 last man standing format, which means that it's Christo, Chukachuk, Solomon are all going to be playing individually versus Messi, Don't Gem, Join Above, and Pickle Games from Mount Albert Grammar School. Although, you know, I am impressed with Rusty Boots the way that they showed up today. I just don't know if it's Christo and Chukachuks or Kukachuks is going to be able to, you know, compete in a 1v1 format. Do you think that, you know, is it possible to be a stronger 1v1 player than a 2v2 player?
Well, definitely. And look, you know, you become a specialist, but let's find out. But while we're finding out, I'll tell you the bans for this game. For the King of the Hill, we have Hog Rider and Miner. Now, we saw Miner being heavily used in the last game, so no Miner. Let's see how it works out. Looks like
No, there's been nothing played by Join Above.
The King Tower down. Oh, this is going to be game over in seconds. Look at that.
I feel like this might this
happened. Our first
Solomon
King of
was
the
on the
Hill.
top. Solomon was on the top side. I might need to get clarification from that. The Solomon was under the Wrath of Frost banner, and Rusty Boots was playing on the other. The players were reversed, and so we will have to replay that match because I think Solomon said, "Hey guys, there's a problem. He didn't play any cards. Just forget that from your memory." That was a wipe. Reset. Let's try again. Going into the game. There we go. Join Above on Wrath of Frost side. Kukachuks on Rusty Boots. Those seem like the right players, and we'll see how they perform. It looks like they've all played cards, and now we're in for a real match. Ram Rider, Ice Golem coming down on the left-hand side with the Lumberjack and Bats and a Wizard coming down on the right. Quickly
and some Rage as well. You know, a Wizard plus Rage, that's a lot of damage that can go quickly through. Look at that.
Melted through that Princess Tower.
595 already.
That is a
good effort.
That is a great effort from a start. Great start from Rusty Boots on this. Now, just a reminder for everyone watching at home, once one of these players loses, they will be eliminated. And it is not until all 3 players from a team is eliminated that the King of the Hill will be decided. And so they only get 1 shot. If they die, they're out.
Now that Fireball is pretty potent. That actually took out the Magic Archer. And now we've got Valkyrie and the Wizard and Bats taking on the Inferno Dragon, which was well defeated.
Lumberjack being taken down there. Interesting log, not sure if needed. I feel like he might have saved 1 hit there, but the bat was pretty close.
And a clear board again while everybody saves up.
May take a breather. Join Above definitely wanting to stick to this left-hand channel right now. 600 health on your Princess Tower on the right. I would avoid that at all costs if I were Join Above. A Soul Barbarian trudging over the bridge.
Is anything going to be able to be placed in that rage? No, sadly it was wasted.
Out of my way.
I really like those cards like, you know, the Lumberjack that's carrying the rage spell, that if you can pair it up with something else so that when that one dies, all of your other things that are coming behind it suddenly get to have that extra speed boost, that's really good. So we've just got that playing out now with the bats backing up the Lumberjack. Lumberjacks everywhere.
Especially when they're small units. Bats can be surprisingly strong in those rage areas because if you don't have air defense, you think, it's not a big deal, and then all of a sudden, half your Princess Tower's gone. A great snowball there, great fireball
And
there,
that
sorry.
Princess Tower has been taken out by the Valkyrie, which is now heading up to the King Tower, and might get a couple of hits in.
20 seconds left. This is a lot of pressure on Join Above. It looks like Cookachooks might be continuing on to the next match to try and face another member of Wrath of Frost. Assuming he can hold this defense here. 10 seconds left and a big attack coming through. But with the distraction, it looks like Cookachooks will be taking it out.
Well done, he said good game. They're all good gaming, and that is over.
It is done! Rusty Boots pulling it out for the first win in the King of the Hill. And so now it'll be Cookachooks versus one of the two remaining Wrath of Frost members. How long is he going to be able to keep up that reign? But if he does end up being defeated, he's still going to have two of his team members behind. This is turning out to be a fantastic match. Again,
I know, it's incredible. Let's see what's going to happen next. I mean, you know, anything literally can happen. This is our first King of the Hill experience.
I was expecting Wrath of Frost to kind of come in and really be the strong favorite here, but I am impressed with Rusty Boots' perseverance. It looks like the work on Roblox and the commercial fishing dreams is really fueling their ability to win these games, and so they really want to get there in the end. Having a look, and
well,
we're just about
the
to
game's
load
about to
into the
begin.
Let's take a look. So it is Cookachooks this time versus Messi. Don't Jim. Let's see if Messi has better luck.
Now we've got our Lumberjack and Log combo and the Rage. Hopefully something can be put in there. I always hate to see a Rage being wasted, but anyway, again, it was.
And the balloon here almost made quick work by the bats, but a phenomenal ice spell took out the Tesla and the bats, almost let the balloon come all the way through. And now both players just taking a breather, letting the elixir store up for their next attacks.
Let's see what that's going to be. We haven't got much damage on the board yet. Electro Wizard coming down.
With Messi Don't Gem allegedly being upgraded from the bench warmer to now spending 25 hours a day playing Clash Royale in his dungeon, I'm expecting great things from him, and I'm really worried for his health if he doesn't perform.
Yeah, that is actually quite a lot of hours that he's putting in, so...
I really hope it pays off for him.
Not sure how he gets the schoolwork done.
And Cookachooks here keeping up the pressure. Great log coming through.
Great combo because you put down your Lumberjack and the skeletons came out, but the log was ready to back it up to take those skeletons out. Nice work. Yay, some bats going in the Rage. They sped up, but they didn't quite make it.
No, they tried their hardest. They just ended up hitting the arrows harder. But they 1 minute 20 left into the round. Fairly even here. A little bit extra trip damage on Cookachook's side. But, you know, you only need one tower, so it could happen at any time. And a big attack here from Messi Don't Gem.
Certainly is. A balloon and a Lumberjack and a whole bunch of stuff.
Tesla's not in range. It's not activating. He's misplaced it.
That's such a shame. Oh, that balloon is going to make it to the King Tower. That is such a shame. That didn't activate the Tesla at all, even at the King Tower stage.
Huge misposition by Cookachooks. Absolutely. But a massive attack here from Messi.
Almost in spite, we've got an Inferno Tower placed correctly. So here we go. We come back with another Tesla just in a better position. Although,
so
is that going to be quite... Oh, is that going to be right? Yes. Will it reach the balloon? Yes, there we go.
Fantastic fireball. He used the fireball to knock it across just one square, so it was in range of the Tesla. And moving through. Good log here. 17 seconds left. It's going to need to be a big play by Cookachooks.
Need
Can he do anything?
1800 to get down on that tower. I don't think we're going to do it in the last 7 seconds.
5 seconds. Kukachuk takes a bow, I think, out of this match. Messi, don't. Jim is not messing around.
Well done.
It's over. Good game again, but that makes it 1-1. And so Join above from Rother Frost knocked out first. Now Kukachuk is taken down with the scores evened up. Rusty Boots will be bringing in their second player. Will it be Christo? Will it be Solomon? Either one of them will be versing Messi Don't Jim to try and take this out. Interestingly enough, I don't think that, if I remember correctly, Pickle Games being the 1v1 specialist and Solomon being the 1v1 specialist, we haven't seen either of those players come out yet. Do you think they might be sitting as the anchor at the back?
Ooh, well, you know, that's an interesting strategy. Do you keep them to the end, or what if their teammates get knocked out earlier and they don't get a chance to play? It's a big risk either way. So
It's a lot of pressure as well.
Yeah, it is. I mean, imagine being the one that kind of, you know, gets knocked out and loses it for your team. That's a tough position to be in. But then on the other hand, if you're the one who wins it for your team and you get that much closer to that incredible prize pack, you're going to be the good guy, aren't you? So let's see. The game is about to start.
Big risk, big reward. Let's see who they've pulled in, and they've done it. Rusty Boots have pulled in Solomon for their 1v1 specialist into the King of the Hill to try and take down Messi Don't Jim. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, now I suppose they have a bit of an advantage of seeing how Messi Don't Jam plays and what cards they are using. So perhaps the last game has been spent tweaking the deck, maybe choosing some slightly different cards. Looks like we've got a very similar deck so far to the last round. We've got Inferno Tower, we've got Balloons, we've got Lumberjack.
And Solomon pulling out an Inferno Tower of his own, saying good night, nurse. See you later to the balloon. Ooh, but I think that bomb is just a little bit too close. Ooh, it took some damage from that.
Did do some damage there.
Which is all you really want from a balloon. If you can get a balloon bomb damage on a tower, it's done a good job.
Absolutely. You know, Balloon dropping its bomb is fantastic. I like the giant skeleton being able to drop its bomb as well. It does incredibly more damage. But, you know, if you can get some balloon bomb damage in, that's pretty great.
And we've got a little knight here walking all up against the Electro Wizard. He's going to get zapped.
Yeah, the knight is actually pretty tough. It'll do a couple of hits in there. But it's being Inferno Tower as well, so it doesn't survive.
And the Princess ends up managing to just get a hit on the Electro Wizard and trying to take down that Inferno Tower, but the Lumberjack has something to say about that.
Now, it's interesting to see people still playing Princess. I still believe that the Firecracker is better than Princess. I know I talk about this all the time, but I'm surprised that we don't see it, because you get to... Your hit continues through to whatever's behind it.
Does the Firecracker have the range of the Princess, though?
Not quite the range, but I guess
I think that's what I like. That's the attractive piece for the Princess for me, is the fact that you can see her right there, sitting on the bridge, just hacking away at the tower, and there's nothing that they can really do except place a unit. Quick stock take here, 30 seconds left in the match. Solomon is 1700 health down on his tower, but he is not letting Messi take it away easily. Nice log there, 1800 left on Messi Don't Jim's side.
Now, we are still not even down to 1500 on these towers. This has just been play all your cards that you can, and we're going to take them down. It's attack versus defense. There's something for everything. But that rocket...
It's a very close game.
Was pretty great. Took it down below 1500, and we've got 1200 on the other side. So we are into overtime.
Messi Don't Jam coming through with a big attack, and again the balloon just gets too close to lock out the Princess. Ooh, and hit the tower.
Right. Down below 1000. So that's the current tower to beat for the game. Let's see if that happens.
Now you can see here, I just want to make a note. Solomon's got 5.6 elixir that he's ended up leaking. So he's been sitting on 10 elixir for too long, and he's ended up losing. Now it's over 6, almost 7 elixir that was wasted. That's a whole nother unit, and that kind of momentum can really add up over the time.
Yeah, that's an interesting strategy, or perhaps a mistake.
I think he just didn't. I mean, the trade-off is always, your positioning. Do you want to play a card even though you've maxed out your elixir and maybe not have the timing you want, meeting in the middle or meeting over the bridge? And sometimes it can be worth it, but 7 elixir and almost 8, over a game is a pretty rough loss.
That is. I mean, that's a giant or giant skeleton. It's anything major.
Here's a big attack.
And here we go. We're down to
he's got it.
40.
The balloon dropped his bomb. And the rocket coming down too little too late. Messi, don't. Jim taking out the 1v1 specialist from Rusty Boots in Solomon. Fantastic play. Unfortunately, that set play really caught Solomon off guard. I don't think he really knew what to do about that when the balloon came in, even with the Inferno Tower there, dragging the balloon in, placing down the ice spell, slowing down the tower, slowing down all the defenses, and that balloon just came in and wiped him out. I think the main 3 damage sources in their game came from that same balloon ice spell combo, and so impressive play by Messi, which unfortunately leaves it's Christo as the last hope for Rusty Boots and the King of the Hill. It's all pressure is now on his shoulders. He has to carry through, not only beat Messi, don't Jim, but he also has to eventually beat Pickle Games if he is the one who wants to take out the match. And so let's see if it's Christo can do it. He wants to be King of the Hill. He's got a big hill to climb.
He certainly does. He's got to show up his friends. Oh, look, we've got a knight and a whole bunch of things going on, but it's been taken out by those skeletons.
And it looks like Messi Don't Gem is going to stick with the tried and true. Similar cards coming out so far. Obviously, we haven't seen them all, but it looks like it'll be a similar type of deck here. Let's see if it's Christo has figured out the counter.
Yes, well, they've been sitting back watching, go, right, well, Messi, I've got the answer here, and I've built my deck especially to take you on, so let's...
But here it comes, it's the rage spell, the balloon. The Picker can't do anything about it. It drops 2 bombs plus the after-death bomb. That's 600 health left on that Princess Tower. Not a good omen there for it's Christo. Hopefully we can see him recover. Both players just sitting there, absorbing the elixir, waiting for their combos to come through.
Now, we saw in the last game and this game, the balloon coming in just a bit too close. The defense is not quite accurate enough to stop that bomb from hitting the tower. So if you're going to be placing some kind of building as a distraction for the balloon, it just needs to be a little bit further away from the tower so that when that bomb drops, it doesn't actually hit the Princess Tower.
Yeah, I think that's been the real big letdown. Great combo there with the skeletons, or counter, I should say. First, the Electro Wizard managed to clean him up before he got too much damage down, and taking out a lot of that Lumberjack too.
Yeah, that's excellent news. I mean, I would have expected the skeletons to have been taken out much earlier, but they almost took out that entire Lumberjack at the tower. That was very nicely played. And here we see that balloon issue again.
Oh, still did damage to the Princess Tower. That was probably the max range on the bomb there. I think they do have the counter, though, in the Ice Wizard. If it's Christo can hold the Ice Wizard well, again, the skeleton's coming through. The Ice Wizard could be the saving grace, but I think I agree with you there. It's the positioning. He needs to bring that more on the inside rather than the outside and keep that balloon away from the tower.
Yes, let's see if that happens again, because no doubt we will see another cycle of the balloon. Oh, this time coming in from the other side.
And it's Christo didn't wait to play the Ice Wizard, and so he's got no defense against that balloon. The balloon will take 1 shot, plus the drop bomb afterwards. Ooh, a little bit of damage. I think the position of that, the Dark Prince just there would have been exactly where he wants to put his Ice Wizard when the balloon drops. Going into overtime. 300 health left on that tower. It's Christo, the last hope for Rusty Boots. He has to keep that tower alive.
Now, I'm curious that the balloon came out on the other side last time it was played, because I thought we could have taken it out this time, but it's coming back again.
And the ice spell comes out. Exactly the combo.
That takes it out.
And that is
his magic balloon.
And so that's Messi Don't Gem taking out all three of the Rusty Boots players single-handedly. Join Above wasn't able to do it, but then he came through, took out Kukuchuks into Solomon, and then again into It's Christo. And so, you know, good job by Messi Don't Gem. I think, yeah, Rusty Boots didn't manage to figure out that Ice Spell balloon combo that he was pulling through. And so at the end of the day, that means that Wrath of Frost maintain their undefeated streak now with 6 wins and 0 losses in the tournament. Rusty Boots walking away with, unfortunately, another defeat. But that is only the beginning of our night tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We have another game, 2 more games coming up, and so stick around and we will be right back after these messages. Good afternoon and good evening, Clash Royale fans. We are back with the High School League Clash Royale Split 1. Once again, joined remotely. My name is Jonathan Arkadian Jensen. We're here with Belinda Hope, a.k.a. Blendy. How's it going tonight, Blendy?
Well, you know, our social distancing is going pretty well. We've had some pretty fantastic games, and we're here for some more. How are you going?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm excited about tonight's matches so far. Been pretty good. Our first match went all the way to King of the Hill, and we'll be pushing straight into the third match of tonight. And so without further ado, let's check out the head-to-head. And this is Brain Dead Beatdown from Rangitoto College versus Funeral Parlor at Burnside High School. This is a highly anticipated match, not only from a competition point of view, but Rangitoto College being the largest school in New Zealand versus Burnside High School, another one of the biggest schools in New Zealand. They're going head-to-head. The head-to-head record, these two, haven't versed each other just at this stage, but Funeral Parlor is 5 wins and 0 losses in their group. But Brain Dead Beatdown is 4 wins and 1 loss. And so this is Brain Dead's opportunity to equalize to be top of the table. This is definitely going to be the most exciting match of tonight. We've seen Funeral Parlor play once before.
Yes, they played last week, but also remember, this is the team that won the Holiday Cup last year. So these are the top players.
Yes, so and we've got...
very excited to see them play again.
It will be exciting to see. We've got Harambe and Richard is hello for the 2v2 players on Rangitoto College, and we have CJL and Jaden is pro on the Funeral Parlor side. Jaden is pro, as I understand it, a very successful Clash Royale player in his own right. And then coming into the 1v1s on Rangitoto College's side, we've got hashtag Kaboom versus Funeral Parlor's Real Badodak. I think that I might have butchered that name, but I gave it my best shot. And so we'll see how those matches...
I've got the bans for the 2v2. Would you like to know what they are? Tell
me what they are. What have we got?
The bans for the 2v2. We have got Valkyrie, which is an interesting ban, because that's a really common card that everyone likes to throw in their deck. And we've also got Royal Giant. So sadly, that's banned as well.
I thought that was quite an interesting pick. I thought that was an interesting pick on Funeral Parlor's side, because usually, I don't really see a lot of Royal Giant bans, but Funeral Parlor traditionally have had some very strategic bans. They'll usually ban a card and play a very strong substitute for it and kind of overwhelm the opponent. And so it'll be interesting to see how that ends up playing out at the end of the day. And we're still waiting on the 2v2 to load. It looks like CJL won't be able to play tonight for Burnside High School, so he is being subbed, but we will see that as it comes through. Any random predictions here, Blendy, for tonight's match?
Well, I mean, I think that Burnside High has got pretty good track record, so it's always great to see them play. But it was interesting what you're talking about before with the bans. Now, I'm just wondering if there's a strategy behind choosing what cards to ban. I think perhaps, like you're saying, that they have a really interesting choice. Maybe they're thinking of what cards they definitely want to use, and then they choose one that would typically be a substitute for that, and choose that as their ban, so that they know that they can still keep their card that they like. So what could they play instead of Royal Giant, and then say Royal Giant's been banned?
Yeah, that's a good question. We've got Funeral Parlour coming up with Node replacing CJL in this 2v2 versus Harambe and Richard is Hello from the Brain Dead Beatdown. And a pretty hectic start here. A lot of units coming out, but all of them will be pretty cleanly cleaned up, except for the Prince chasing the battle ram across the river there. Great
Now
placement.
that was an interesting chase. You know, now it's heading down to the other tower that I wasn't destined for, but it managed to get a little bit of damage in there.
Yeah, quite unlucky there for Brain Dead Beatdown. Managed to take that damage, and the Mega Minion fighting his smaller brethren as he makes his way back over to the Brain Dead Beatdown side of the field, and a good push coming here for Rangitoto College. Cleaned up by Rangitoto and moving through to the Burnside.
Now we've got a rage spell. Can anything else go in there, or is it going to be another wasted rage?
And the
Certainly
Bandit
is.
slaps down the Frost Wizard there. And he's just going to slowly try his best to make his way towards him. And the Bandit to back him up.
Good use of Bandit against the Prince. That's a nice combo of attacks. And here we go. We've got a Miner, and we've got the Royal Ghost taking out the other attacks that were coming through there. Now the Royal Ghost has been distracted over to that bomb tower. Will it take it out? Oh, not quite.
And that's a lot of value coming out of that bomb tower. Just unable to get rid of it. Now, with 1 minute left in the match, we do have 1,800 health left on the Burnside High School's Funeral Parlour Tower versus 1,600 left and the Rangitoto Brain Dead Beatdown.
Let's see, we've got a bit of a mashup of just about their entire hands coming out at the moment.
They're letting everything loose. Now this double elixir is active. 30 seconds left coming up. And a lot of battling here, slow downs. This is a very, very admirable fight. There's a lot of really interesting mechanics happening here. Slows downs, poisons, CC, trying to control and get the most value out of they can out of those. 900 damage left on the Princess Tower for Rangitoto College. And Burnside High School coming
Will that Prince
through.
be able to make it? Oh, it's been distracted again, chasing those guys around.
And he didn't miss up his
Can he get
placement this
down?
time. Here we go. And that tower's going to be
There
taken.
we go. 4 seconds.
Double rockets.
Wow.
A little bit of a BM there by Burnside. They had double rockets in their pocket ready to go, and they were like, nah, don't worry about it. Even if this Princess Tower is, they had that in the bag for a long time. So great play, great display of teamwork there from Burnside High School. Any takeaways, key moments in that match? You think there was anything in particular that really turned the tides of battle?
Oh, look, you know, it was a pretty well matched game. It was, you know, they're working together. We saw a few things play out the same. We saw the Prince chasing around the guys with their log, chasing across the river. I don't think that was intended, but it was a really interesting defense that we saw happen a couple of times. So if you see something come out once and then it happens again, you kind of have to figure out how to change up your placement.
I think they've messed up the placement slightly on the. If you play the battle ram correctly, you can get the Prince to come all the way across the other side and almost become useless. But I think they slightly misplaced it the first time and he ended up hitting the other tower anyway. And that really, you know, I think that made the decision there for for Burnside High School to just decide to plow down that path. But at the end of the day, Burnside came away with the all-important 2v2 point win for that match. And so in the next match, we will be going to the 1v1s with Kaboom on Rangitoto College side versus Real from Funeral Parlour Burnside High's team. I'm going to need...
Would you like to know the bans for this game, for the 1v1s?
Yeah, give me the 1v1 bans. What have we got?
We have got your favourite, Sparky.
Yes.
And also Lightning.
Ah, Lightning here. And
okay.
so...
Now, Lightning is an interesting choice because that costs 6, I think, to play. Zap is like the cheaper version of Lightning, and that only costs maybe 2, and you can take out all of the small things. But Lightning does 3 sets of zaps, I suppose you'd call them. So, you know, that's quite a good defense card or spell. So let's see how this game goes with no Sparky and no Lightning.
Absolutely. And so starting off the match here, like we thought, Kaboom and Real Bab Doduk coming in from Funeral Parlor's side. I'm going to need a masterclass from Burnside on how to pronounce his name correctly. I feel so bad messing it up. Starting off here, what have we got? Equal towers, a little bit of elixir being burned or leaked there from Braindead Beatdown. Nothing too dramatic.
Now we've got skeletons coming out here periodically. We've got a mini P.E.K.K.A going out, taking out other skeletons. So we've got Zap being used instead of lightning.
We do.
And we've got Electro Dragon as well. So we've got other lightning alternatives being
other sources of
used.
lightning. Yes, they didn't let the Sparky through or the lightning spell. Too much lightning with there. Too much zapping happening with those cards, but Zap and the Electro Wizard is allowed, or the Lightning Dragon, sorry. And a tombstone coming down, or a graveyard. And that Frost Wizard is going to be able to reach across there and shoot that across the river, but the Musketeer will make quick work of it. Musketeers do quite a lot of damage. I don't think they get quite as much credit as they deserve.
Yeah, I always overlook them in my deck, but you know, when you play against one, you certainly get attacked by them. So maybe we need to rethink that. And the three Musketeers, of course, put out a pretty serious punch. Now we've got a lot coming on here. We've got the Electro Dragon, we've got a mini P.E.K.K.A, we've got our Ice Golem, we've got bats, we've got a really strong push coming through.
And unfortunately, the Frost Wizard or Ice Wizard being able to just contain all of that attack at the river there, at the bridge, and take that out pretty handily. But pretty even here on tower health, all things considered. Kaboom trying desperately to take away the first point here in the 1v1. This is a best of 3, and so they will have another chance regardless. But the pressure is on with Burnside High School sitting there with 1 point in the bank already from the 2v2. A lot of elixir being leaked there by Braindead Beatdown.
Now we're down to the last 30 seconds, and I don't think we're any closer to getting a tower taken out.
No, it's a good push coming through from Funeral Parlor.
We've got a strategic placement of the skeletons coming out right in front of the tower there.
And a nice poison placement there. And here we go, a nice attack coming on the right. We will be going to
probably those. Oh, look, that's actually pretty good. That graveyard has done that. We're down to below 1,000 on both sides.
And now we are in overtime. The interesting thing here is that the opposing towers are what is low, and so Funeral Parlor are going to want to be fighting down that left-hand channel, whereas Braindead Beatdown are going to want to fight on the right-hand channel. And so whoever gets the dominance on that side has an innate advantage coming into this. Who can control the tempo of the match?
You want to be sending out your attack, but you also need to be sending out your defense on the other side. So you're having to split everything that you do.
Exactly, and it's just really interesting there. It looks as if Braindead Beatdown were able to control the channel, but then they sent a Musketeer voluntarily down the left-hand side. It ended up being dealt with the Lightning Dragon there, but a fairly even trade.
Yeah, well, are we going to make it? No, we've got 700 versus 965. We're just doing some slow chip damage at the top there. We've got
Here come the skeletons.
Skeletons coming out. That might do a little bit more than chip damage if they're not defended. Look at that.
It's 440 damage from the tower. Ram Rider coming through, can't keep that uncontested.
I thought that mini P.E.K.K.A was going to make it. A one-hit would have taken it, but it was defended.
Very even here in this 1v1. 30 seconds left in overtime. If no towers fall, it will go down to the lowest health. And once more,
well, here we go. We've got our skeletons again. And can we get the Ice Wizard to take out some of them? 145
Here come the Ram Rider. Here it comes. The Ice Golem needs to take one shot. He's not able to lift up his hand.
That is so heartbreaking. Can we
It's all over. They're going to do the rotation. Here comes the skeletons. One of them's got a hit for sure. And it is all over.
Arrows for good measure as well.
Fantastic play there from Kaboom.
Wow.
Hashtag Kaboom booming out his tower, taking out the first point in the 1v1. It is a best of 3 though, and so Burnside High School will still have the opportunity to try and fight this one back. But is it a possibility that we are going to see the second King of the Hill in one night?
Wow, I mean, if we do, that's pretty incredible. That's why you turn up for these games, right? So let's see what we can do.
Absolutely, and so that was the first match coming through. Interestingly, I think that the lightning ban from Funeral Parlour really did damage our match for Kaboom. I think he had he used that quite a lot. He might have planned to use lightning, so that could have been a research targeted 500 IQ ban. But who knows what's going to happen in this next match? Is there anything in particular you saw you'd change if you were in Real Bab's shoes?
Not sure. I mean, look, we saw some great use of the skeletons coming out, and they ended up kind of winning it, really. So, look, you've got to keep going. All of this chip damage counts, so just keep at it.
What's the counter for those skeletons? What sort of card do you need to take care of those?
I would use probably Minion Horde or Bats.
Oh, yeah.
Place those on there. Yeah.
Yep. Just clean as soon as they pop up, knock them down. Absolutely. Yep. I wonder if that's what will happen.
We are in the next game.
We will be wiping across to that next game. No, not shortly.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So we'll keep going across on that one. While we do wait for them to come together, though, we have seen Sparky the ban on Brain Dead Beatdown side. I don't think that they might have necessarily fit at all in this one at all. I think Real Bab had the opportunity to take through, really wasn't able to deal with those skeletons, but a few small changes might be able to get them there. That is, I think, if they do get to a King of the Hill match-off, though, Kaboom is proving to be quite a player to be dealt with. So it could be a scary situation for that. While we continue to wait for the combo, we've talked about the different while we wait for the next game, we've talked about the different combos that have come through so far. Have you had a particular favorite combo you've been trying out this week, Blendy?
Oh, my favorite combos this week. I have been trying out a kind of, I suppose, a spammy type deck. I've been using all of my troops, and then I've been cloning them, and then I've been mirroring what's left.
Oh, so big B in there on the spam.
Stuff.
And as we just finish off with that, we are heading into the match to see the second round between Kaboom and Real Bab from Funeral Parlour. Let's see what differences we can come through. It looks like a fairly similar deck here for Kaboom, but a new strategy here from Real Bab Dodek's side.
Certainly is. Now we've got the baby dragon coming down,
which will be a great counter for those skeletons as well, attacking the princess towers there. Put one of those in the back and he'll clean those up without a problem. Nice splash damage will be effective there.
Now we've got our some attack coming on over the bridge here, and the ice wizard is just slowly chilling everything out. And down comes the knight.
The tombstone being played on Burnside's time this time. They're going to try and take out Kaboom with a little bit of his own medicine.
Yeah, we've got skeletons everywhere, and now we've got skeletons and bats and the ice golem heading over there, and the baby dragon is trying to clean all of that up.
Which he will do nicely. I don't think that'll be much of a problem at all for the little baby dragon. Heading across down to Kaboom's tower, and a musketeer to take quick work.
I was going to say it's coming over uncontested, but yeah, you're right. That musketeer took it out, no trouble.
They do a lot of damage, those musketeers. They know what they're doing. Nice counter there with the barbarian barrel.
And good placement of that skeleton tombstone there, because that distracted the barbarian from heading to the princess tower.
And it looks
now,
like there's one card. Exactly, skeleton. One card that hasn't been played yet from Kaboom's side, and it's probably his tombstone. Whirlwinds or Tornado being a great defense there for that kind of spammy deck.
Certainly do. Now we've got the skeletons hopefully protecting that mini P.E.K.K.A, but no, didn't quite work out that way. So we've got mini P.E.K.K.A coming up the other side again, protected by the ice golem.
I love the way that the Real Bab Duodok has completely changed his deck here to really attack and counter what Kaboom brought into the last match. I feel like, you know, Real Bab Duodok has really got a superior deck here for this matchup. And so I appreciate the fact that he adapted.
Now we've got, I like to see the protection of the mini picker, and this time we've now got bats protecting the mini picker, and we head into overtime. Now all of the protection for every time that the mini picker has been played, sadly, everything has ended up not hitting the target, but it's nice to see that that strategy is being tried, but it just goes to show that we've got some extra good defense happening.
And a big attack coming out here on Real Bab's side from Funeral Parlor, trying to just knock down that tower slowly. 1400 health left on both towers, actually, even though most of the battling has been happening on that left-hand channel. And a tombstone of Kabooms is coming down.
Now we're in the same situation as before, with the opposite corner towers taking out, although we're just getting some pretty good damage in there, so that might even things up a little bit.
I think a few of those skeletons made it through the defenses and managed to chip that tower down. See how the Musketeer handles against these skeletons. I don't think it will do very well. 1000 health, and now they're going to start turning onto that Princess Tower. But there it is, the bats that we talked about earlier. Cleaning them up.
That's right. You know, good placement. Some of these people are listening to my strategies, aren't they? I love to see it, have to say.
And so
now
very similar strategy.
Graveyard coming out everywhere. Skeletons everywhere in this game. Now, you know, sometimes you think, oh, it's just a couple of skeletons, I'll not bother about it. But I think in this game, we've got so many skeletons that if you don't bother about them, you're going to really hear about it, because you're going to end up with some tower damage. Serious.
Overrun in no time. Now the poison being used up on the right-hand side to really completely negate that tombstone being played. Fantastic
amazing cancellation. That was very good defense.
And now sub 1,000 health on the Princess Tower for Kaboom. And we're going into overtime finishing. You need to quickly take down that health. It'll be a tiebreaker. And that'll be Real Bad from Funeral Parlor. Taking it out.
What's it going to be? There we are.
Easily done. And so that is Real Bab taking back 1 point from Kaboom for that 1v1. Obviously, after, if you're not sure what you just saw then, after overtime is completed, the towers do rapidly lose health until one or the first tower is destroyed. And that's basically meaning that the lowest health structure loses, and that was on Kaboom's side. And so they have equalized it. Rangitoto College and Funeral Parlor are now equal in the 1v1. So we will be going to the third set of the 1v1. And really, it's all up to Rangitoto College here to try and stay in this. They have to win this last matchup to take it to a King of the Hill tiebreaker if they want to keep their hopes alive. Knowing that Real Bab was able to change up his deck so much, is there anything you'd expect to see from Kaboom if you were in his shoes?
Well, let's see how we go. I mean, we've seen these guys play a few times. We saw a fairly equal deck that time. You know, we've got skeletons everywhere. We've got attacks for the skeletons. We've got counters for everything. You know, we had bats and we had poison, both excellent choices, because the skeletons on their own are so weak, but as a group they're really strong, but they can both be taken down by things like poison and bats. So I'm not sure what's going to happen this round, but I think everybody's been obviously watching what the games are being played like, and ideally tweaking their decks to perfect their attacks and their defense.
Now it looks like, again, so far, it's only 2 cards, so it's fairly early, but it looks like the same type of strategy is being deployed here by Brain Dead Beatdown. Kaboom is using the same deck, whereas Real Bab has changed it up once again with the Lightning Dragon, the Knight, and the Tornado Whirlwind in there as well.
And the Tornado. So that was a great use of the Tornado coming against the same pattern that we saw before of the Mini P.E.K.K.A. and the bats protecting it. And the Tornado swept them all away, destroyed the bats, and then the Mini P.E.K.K.A. was able to be taken out.
Rilbab has really got that tombstone on lock with the poison now. I think every time he drops that, he's just going to drop a poison on top of it and take away the 1 elixir trade. He'll walk away happy with that every time, I think. And so it's going to come down to the rest of the match. Hopefully Kaboom has something else in his sleeves that he can pull out. And slowly bringing across elixir building here. 3.5 elixir leaked on Funeral Parlour's side. And the knight coming through slowly, chipping away.
And the same attack we just saw play out before with the mini pecker and the bats versus Tornado just happened again, same result. So we need to just make sure that when the cards are cycled through, perhaps just hold on to one of them and wait for the next one to come, so that hopefully that Tornado can be used on something else, and then you can still get the combo through that you're trying to do.
Yeah, I think that patience is really important. We've seen it from Real Bab's side on Funeral Parlour. What's holding the poison, never using it unless that tombstone comes out, just because it's the perfect counter every time. And so it's, can Kaboom be that patient and really pull those attacks through? Big attack coming through the right-hand channel here from Real Bab onto Kaboom's side, dropping the poison. But with a poison, to clean up all those units and get some great value, it means that there's an uncontested other tower for the tombstone to come through on. Will he use it? 1400 damage for Kaboom on the right-hand Princess Tower.
Now that Electro Dragon was taken out by simple bats. That was a really nice play to end up that enormous mass of troops that we saw coming through there.
Another big attack coming through here, overwhelming. 10 seconds left. It's not going to be able to be stopped.
Already?
Oh, he managed to stop it.
What's incredible? 2 seconds to go. We're going to go into overtime. We only.
But I don't feel like it'll last long with poison in the bank, ticking away. You see Kaboom's dreams there just fading away under the poison, unable to hold up under the pressure. And so he will be dropping there the set, which puts a Burnside High School into the winner's chair. They'll be taking out today's match 2-1. And so I think overall, great performance there from Funeral Parlour. Unfortunate for Rangitoto, that is going to continue Funeral Parlour's winning streak into a 6 wins, 0 losses end game. How do we feel about key moments of that game, Blendy?
Poison that won the game. It's incredible. The Tornado was another highlight of the game. That I think Tornado is a bit of an underrated card, but in this particular game, it won every single time that it beat. So you've got to coming out with mini picker.
I think we're just cutting out there a little bit. But that Tornado, absolutely, it wasn't MVP there. I think when you're playing in the decks with those kinds of this really spammy units, then you end up getting that really strong value. I just want to commend the Burnside High School team there for being able to really patiently play their cards, wait out. It really takes a lot of skill to work through that. And congratulations on the win. I'm really going to be excited for next week's. If this is just week 4, we've got 2 more weeks of group play before we go into playoffs, and that's when the real action is going to begin. And so before we finish, do we have the Caster's Choice Award? Actually, you know what? Before we do that, let's throw on to the results. Let's have a look at tonight's matches. And so Wrath of Frost overall winning the first match, taking it away from Rusty Boots in a phenomenally close match. Again, if you missed this match, I recommend going and taking a look at it. Paladins forfeiting match 2 against Flinders Crabs, and then our final match, which you've just seen, Funeral Parlour taking away the win versus Beatdown in Rangitoto College. Which ends the week 4 matchups. And back to the Caster's Choice Awards, I'd like to give away a little bit of a unofficial, a little accolade for schools to brag about for those who give us the best descriptions of their teams. It seems to be a good omen for the matches of the night. And tonight, what do you think, Blendy? Who has earned the Caster's Choice Award?
Well, look, we've had some really great submissions for profiles and things, and we really love this because it gives us something to share about who these players are, so that we can all get to know our Clash Royale community a little bit closer. So please do send in your profiles. Now we've had some great information tonight. Now I'm going to give a shout out to Flinders, who sent in some fantastic information, but sadly they didn't get to play. So do we think that means that they don't necessarily qualify? So yeah, What do you think it? Or should we, who was your favourite?
My personally favorite, every week we do get these submissions from the teams, and if you are one of the teams watching, we encourage you absolutely to write a little bit about yourselves, because we love to learn about you and your school and what made you play Clash Royale. We've seen some very funny comments coming through from Rusty Boots, Wrath of Frost, a lot of the Mount Albert Grammar Schools, but Flinders Crabs from Flinders Christian College, they have managed to, they write a very in-depth brief on themselves, and I think even though they didn't get to play tonight, they personally, in my eyes, earned tonight's Caster's Choice Award for giving us, they always give us the breakdown, they always let us know what they're doing, and give us that extra bit of insight, and that's what I appreciate. So for me, my vote's going Flinders, but you can make the decision, Blendy. Who's it going to be? The Caster's Choice Award for tonight goes to?
Yeah, let's send it to Flinders. Thank you so much for all your extra effort and hard work with sending in your commentary, and the same to everybody else who sent in some. We love it. So carry on. We love your jokes. We love all your crazy things that you tell us about yourselves. So keep it up, and we'll tell you more about our Clash Royale friends next week.
Fantastic. And so that is the Clash Royale High School League split for this week. Week 4 is now coming to a close. Thank you all for joining us on broadcast tonight. We will be continuing our broadcast remotely, so thank you for putting up with the little bits of us getting used to not being in the same room together and being on the desk. But remember to be out there, stay safe, and enjoy your gaming. And until next time, GG, have fun. See you later.
And this might be game. It's one push and that's it.
That. We've got every single kind of dragon apart from Electro Dragon. Look at all of that mess. This is insane. All the rocket, we've seen that before. Will it be enough?
But the double rocket comes out. That'll be enough.
That's it. And in the, actually on the,
just
the longest
5 HP in that top left with 3 seconds left. That could be the